All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Community Fitness Program sponsored by U Chicago Medicine's Urban Health Initiative in partnership with Body Parts Fitness. Today, we will be having yoga with Marta, and she'll be leading us through today's exercise. So, whenever you're ready, Marta.
Good morning, everybody. I am Marta Hopkins, and I will be leading us today in a chair yoga practice. So if you have a chair, uh, come to the center of your space. I also have blocks and a strap. If you don't have those, then they're not necessary. But I always like using props because they really help to bring the earth up to us, and then they assist us. So today's practice, as I mentioned, will be in a chair. I want to start as I like to, sitting up nice and tall. Come to the edge of your chair. And this will be a very accessible practice. But as we move through the practice, I want you to think about engaging your muscles. So a lot of people think that doing chair yoga is just less than, but there's a lot of muscular strength and fitness that can be used in this practice. So let's be self-aware and let's start with our breathing. Let's place our hands in our lap, or if you want to place one hand on the belly and the other hand on the heart. We'll start with our centering and just get ourselves grounded and connected. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, completely let it go. We'll take one more inhale. Exhale, release. As you sit up in your chair, come towards the edge of your chair, keeping your feet grounded. If your feet don't hit the ground, so you're nice and secure, you can use your blocks here. I want you to feel the earth beneath you. So sit up nice and tall. Create length from the hips all the way to the armpits. And let's take one more inhale. And then exhale, release the breath. Inhaling peace. Exhaling confusion. Inhale love. Exhale division. Beautiful. If your eyes were closed, gently open them, and let's begin to coordinate our breath with movement. Sweep the arms all the way up and look up at your palms. And then exhale, release. Bring your fingertips down to the earth and keep your feet grounded onto your blocks or the earth. Let's do this a couple of more times, just connecting breath with movement. Inhale, arms up. Beautiful. Exhale, release. Fingertips down towards the mat. Continue. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, release, fingertips down. Take one more inhale, sweep the arms up. And I'm going to take my right hand to the left wrist, root down, and then sway to the right, feeling a beautiful stretch on the left side body. And then make your way back to center. We'll switch sides. Left arm, hand grabs the right arm, and then sway to the left. Feel that stretch laterally on the side body. Beautiful. And then come all the way back to center. Let's release our hands to our heart. And then back down to mountain. This is mountain in the chair. So from here, we're going to work on hip rotations. So I'm going to take my right leg and then tap the leg out and then back in the blocks. And then out and back in. And some of your hands here in your lap or place them on your hips. Let your pelvis tip forward. Out, tap, in. Out, in. out, in, out, in. Find that nice external rotation here. A couple more. And we'll do one more on each side. Just allow your pelvis to move from side to side. Beautiful. From here, I'm going to slide my right leg out, my heels on the mat, my toes are up, and then I'm just going to take a semicircle all the way to the right, and then draw it back in, up, out, take it out, back in, and bend the knee. Extend the leg out, slide it, draw it back in, and then bend the knee. Let's do a couple more. Extend the leg out, slide it back in, and then out. Take it out. My baby's in the way. Back in and out. Explore your range of motion, and then you can just simply notice how that's landing for you on each side. Another option is to take your hands up underneath your seat. Let's just do one more on each side. Slide the leg out, bring it back in, and bend the knee. Last one. Out, slide it around, and then back in. Beautiful. Last hip rotation. I'm going to lift my right knee up. The foot is off the mat, and then I'll take it out. So with the last one, I was more like tapping my foot. And so I'm taking a bigger rotation. Lift the knee up, out, and then back in. Let's do a couple more. Beautiful. And again, you could keep your hands behind the chair. Or settle them here on your hips. We're focusing on the hip rotation here. Let's do one more on each side. Beautiful. Nice. From here, sit up nice and tall. We'll release our hands, and we're going to do a seated dead bug. So I'm going to lift my right thigh up and my left arm, and then back down. So alternating knee and arm, and keep your foot flexed. So lift the knee to the chest, the opposite arm goes up. It's kind of marching here in place. Beautiful. Do a couple more on each side. Last one. Beautiful. Now we're going to add on to this. I'm going to lift up, extend the leg out, and then bring it back in. Lift up, extend the leg and the arm up, back in and down. Lift up, out, back in and down. 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 Last one. Up, out, back in and down. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come into boat pose. I'm going to turn my chair to the side so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm at the edge of my chair. I'm going to kind of round my spine. I'm not going to slide my back to the back of the chair, but I'm just kind of coming onto the back of my sit bones. And then you have a couple of options here. You can bring your hands to the seat of the chair or extend them out. We'll start with lifting the leg up one at a time. So it's kind of similar to what we did earlier, but we've got a little bit of a rounded spine here, and we're engaging our core. So lift the legs up and down. In fact, you could even put your hands here on your core and feel your muscles contracting as you lift up. And let's lift both legs up and down, up and down. We'll start with bent knees. Another option is to extend the arms out. Beautiful. Let's do a couple more. And then we'll do one leg up and then out and then back in. So up, out, and then back in. We're progressing up, out, and back in. Feel the extension. Up, extend, back out, and in. Up, out, back in. Couple more. Beautiful. Now for this next one is really engaging the core. I'm going to lift both legs up. I'm going to grab the seat of my chair or even the back. So I'm coming a little back. I'm going to lift the legs up and then extend them straight out. This really engages the core. And then back in and then down. If you'd like, you can bring the arms out. I can't keep mine up that long. That's why I'm using the seat of the chair. Beautiful. Engage the core. And then back in. Nice. And come back to center. Be nice and warmed up by now. From here, I'm going to use a strap. Now, I will, if you don't have a strap, a towel or a tie or a belt on your robe will do. I'll also give you instructions on how to do this without. So sit up nice and tall. I'm going to lift my right leg up and take the strap around the arch of the right leg and extend the leg straight out. My toes are pointing towards the sky and my legs are engaged and contracted. If you notice that you're engaging your muscles, your kneecaps kind of lift up. So if you're not using a strap today, you can just take your hand behind your thigh here and lift the leg up. Or if you're able to take your peace finger to your big toe, that's fine too. Now sit up nice and tall. Be mindful that you're not rounding your spine here. That's why I like to use the belt. Take a couple of rounds of breath. And I'm going to take my strap in the right hand. I'm going to slide my left hand on my hip, and I'm going to externally rotate the right leg all the way out. So let your pelvis move with that. Beautiful. Take a couple of rounds of breath. Again, if you're not using a strap, you can hold your big toe here. Maybe slide your hand up underneath your leg. Nice and tall. And I'm going to take a bend in my right knee here and slide my right ankle on top of my left thigh. Another option is to bring your foot down towards the ankle. You're still externally rotating the hip. If you place your foot up on top of the thigh, you get a deeper hip rotation. Another option is to use the blocks. Now, the blocks are helpful to raise the earth to you. So play with the variation that feels best for you. The idea is to get that nice external rotation in the right hip. I'm going to let my strap hang here. Sitting up nice and tall. And I'm going to lead with my heart forward hinging forward, and I'll place my hands on my calves here. Take a couple of breaths and flex the right foot here. Another option is to fold completely over your legs, and you can use the blocks to rest your hand on the block, release your head. And breathe into the areas of tightness here. We're working our hip rotators here. So regardless of where your foot lands, take a few rounds of breath, and then let's lift ourselves up. I'm going to remove my leg, and then we'll change legs here. Left knee lifts up, taking the strap. I'll extend the leg straight out. Toes are pointing towards the ceiling, sitting up nice and tall in the chair. Let's take a couple of rounds of breath here. Beautiful. And then I'll take the strap in my left hand here, and then externally rotate to the left. Again, you can take your hand to big toe, which is the name of this pose, or slide your hands up underneath the thigh. We'll take a few rounds of breath here. And then I'll take a bend in the left knee and slide the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Now you may notice a difference. This hip is a little tighter. Might want to send a little love to that area. And then stay here upright or hinge forward. As you hinge forward, you get a deeper stretch. So see what feels best for you. Always flex the foot. And then inhale the breath as you lift all the way back up. Send the leg back out and then bring it back down. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come into a nice simple twist. So I'm going to turn my knees over to the right, sitting up nice and tall. I'll slide my right hand to the back of the chair. Feet are grounded. I'll slip the left arm up and then take my torso over to the right, holding onto the back of the chair. Find that beautiful twist. And take a few rounds of breath here. Really utilize your breath in this practice. It brings the energy of the prana all through the body. It revitalizes and energizes us. And then unwind, and then we'll walk our feet back over to the opposite side here. Sitting up nice and tall, I'll tip my pelvis forward. Left hand is the back of the chair, sweep the right arm up, and then turn my torso towards the back seat. Now my right pelvis glides to the right. Keep breathing. Everything always starts in the pelvis, which is our seat. So our spine moves with the pelvis. Let's unwind, and then we'll gently come all the way back to center. From here, we're going to do some heel raises, and I'm going to use my blocks again. I'm going to place my blocks in my thighs. So doing this allows me to engage my muscles. So we're going to work the calves. I'll have my hands on my thighs, squeezing the block. Feel that muscle contraction. And then I'll lift my heels off the mat and then bring them down. Seems simple enough, but that really engages and strengthens the calves, especially if you're using the block. So squeeze and lift, bring it down. Lift, bring it down. Lift, bring it down. Lift, bring it down. Lift and squeeze as you release. Feel that muscle contraction. Beautiful. Let's do 3 more. Lift, down, lift, squeeze, take it down. Last one. Lift, and then take it down. Beautiful. And we'll release the block. So from here, we're going to come into some work with sitting to stand. So I'm coming to the edge of the chair. I want to make certain that my feet are secure on the ground. I'll take my hands at my heart center. And as I press my palms together, this kind of engages. I'm drawing my muscles into the midline, rooting my feet down to the earth. Come towards the edge of your chair and engage your feet and then lift up to standing. Beautiful. And then we'll just reverse that. Come back down, slide, and then come back down. You may need to come closer to the chair. I don't want you to fall off the chair, but we're really working our glutes and our quadriceps here. Press and then lift, engage your muscles, and then slowly engage and come back down, sitting in the chair. Beautiful. Nice. And as you press your palms together, that helps you. Lift. Nice. And then engage, press your palms, send your hips back, and come back to the seat of the chair. Beautiful. Let's do 3 more. Press, lift up, and then slowly release. Come back to the seat of the chair. 2 more. Inhale as you rise. Slowly take it back down. Beautiful. One last time. And then lift. And then lower. Engage your muscles. Come all the way back down. Beautiful. We'll sweep our hands to our sides. From here, we're going to come into our Warrior 2 or a Warrior series. Move this over. I have my right knee out to the side. My foot is grounded into the earth. And my left leg, I have a couple of options here. I can either straighten the left leg, keeping the outer edge of my foot planted into the mat with the leg straight, or I can bend my knee. So my hands are here on my hips. And now I'll extend the arms out. Get a nice line from your fingertips all the way to your shoulder blades and look out at your right fingers here. Beautiful Warrior 2. Feel connected to the earth, engage your muscles, and breathe. Don't bring your palms up. I want you to have one beautiful line all the way from one fingertip to the left, all the way to the right. Gorgeous. And then we'll send our palms up. Take a nice inhale and look up, bringing the arms overhead. Continue to engage your muscles, and then exhale, release your hands back down to your Warrior 2. Gaze out towards your right fingertips and the right heel. Lift your palms up, inhale, rise, coordinating breath with movement. Find the strength and stability in this pose, but yet we're in this chair. So even though we're in the chair, I want you to really contract and engage your muscular strength here. Palms up, inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Come all the way back down. Beautiful. From here, I'm going to slide my left hand down either to my thigh or take the back of the chair. And then I'll lift the right palm up and take it all the way back to reverse warrior. Now I feel a nice stretch here on the right side body. Beautiful. And my right shoulder blade is up towards the ceiling. Gonna lengthen through the pinky side of my right arm. Find that beautiful length here. Let's take a couple of rounds of breath. And then engage your core, make your way back to warrior two. Strong arms, gaze out to the right. From here, we'll come into side angle stretch. So I'm going to take my right forearm on the right thigh, and I'll slide my left hand on my hip. Now, instead of letting my right hand just dangle, I'm going to contract and engage my muscular strength here. So I'm not just like plopping into my right thigh. Engage the muscles here. Extend the fingertips out. Slide the left hand to the thigh and just kind of glide the left thigh back. And then from here, we'll take the left hand on the left shoulder, extend it all the way up, and then take it over your head. And this time, find length on the pinky side of your left arm. Beautiful. Now, another option for you is to take your block to the outer edge of your right foot and place your hand down. And maybe you try that. Beautiful. A couple of rounds of breath here. Engage the core as you lift all the way back up to warrior two. And slide my hands to my hips and bring my feet together. And we'll switch sides. Left knee is bent. I'm taking the block here. And then I'll take my right leg and bring it out to the side, keeping both knees bent, or if I want to extend the right leg out, I can. Pressing the outer edge of my right foot into the mat. Hands onto the hips, tip your pelvis forward to align the spine and extend the arms out. Find that beautiful line here, looking out at your left fingertips. Couple of rounds of breath here. And then we'll bring our palms up. Inhale the breath, look up. Exhale, release. Bring your hands back down to warrior two. Don't forget to breathe in this practice. Your breath is your life force, your prana. Palms up, inhale the breath, look up. Exhale, lower. One last time. Palms up, inhale the breath, look up. Exhale back to warrior two. Gorgeous. Then we'll take the right hand to the seat of the chair or the thigh. Left palm comes up. Take it back to reverse warrior. And then I want you to lengthen through the pinky side of your left arm this time. Warrior two. Gorgeous. Looking good. I see you. Couple of rounds of breath here. And then engage your core as you lift yourself back up to warrior two. And then we'll slide our left forearm on the thigh, extend the fingertips out, engage. Left hand on the hip. Just take your right fingers and just kind of pat your right thigh, tipping your pelvis forward. Right hand on the right shoulder, extend the arm up and then take it all the way over. Beautiful side angle stretch. You can keep your forearm on your thigh or come down to your block if you'd like. Either way is perfect. Couple of rounds of breath. And you can take your gaze either down at your toes, see what the difference, how that feels differently. Or maybe you look out to the horizon, or maybe you gaze up towards your pinky. Beautiful. Engage your core as you lift back up to warrior two. Hands to the hips, bring the feet together. Beautiful. Let's stand up. And then we'll move into some standing. Oh, my cat brought a toy for me to play. I'm going to bring my chair to the wall. Well, it's actually my couch. But I do this. It depends on just how strong your chair is, because I don't want it to move. We are going to come into a nice chaturanga on the chair. So bring your feet towards the seat, and we'll sweep the arms up. And then exhale, hinge forward. Bring your hands to the seat of the chair. So you can either rest your hands here on the seat of the chair or grab the side of the chair. See what feels best for you. And then I'm going to walk my feet out, coming into a plank. So my shoulder blades are over my wrist, feet are back, and I'm breathing here. Nice plank or chaturanga. Let's take a couple of rounds of breath here. Shoulder blades over the wrist. And we can lift the right leg up if you'd like. Bring it back down. Left leg up. Bring it back down. And lift both legs. No, I'm just playing. Can't do that. And just do this one at a time. Keep your gaze in between your hands, lifting the legs. Beautiful. Let's do one more on each side. Strengthening the upper body, lifting the legs. Beautiful. And then we'll walk our feet back up towards the seat of the chair. Settle your hands here on your hips. Draw your elbows towards one another and inhale, lift all the way up. Sweep the arms overhead. Beautiful. Release to your heart. And we'll come back down to mountain. Now from here, we're going to come into a downward facing dog at the chair. So I'm going to take my hands at the seat of the chair, or again, if you want to hold on for a little more stability here. And then this time I'm going to walk myself back. So I'm creating like an upside down V. And release the head, keep the head in between the upper arms. This is different from what we did because our head is a little lower than the heart. Downward facing dog at the chair. Couple of breaths. And you can lift the leg up and then take it down. Again, up and then down. Let's do one more on each side, or just stay with the legs on the earth. And then come back. Let's walk our feet back up towards the seat of the chair. Let's place our left hand on the seat of the chair. Take a slight bend in the knees, and we'll take our right hand on our hip, straightening the right leg, bending the left, and sweep the right arm up. Again, your gaze can be either looking down at your fingertips, look out to the horizon, or maybe you gaze all the way up to your right fingertips. And then let's reverse it. Right hand down. Keep a bend in the right knee, left leg stays straight. I'll slide my left hand onto the hip, turn my torso to the left, and sweep the left arm up. Beautiful. And then make your way back. Settle your hands on your hips and inhale the breath as you lift all the way up. Hands over your head and then back down to your heart center. Beautiful. Come down to mountain. From here, we're going to do toe taps. So I'm going to step my feet back a little bit from the chair. And I'll either settle my hands here on my hips or just down by my side. And then I'm going to take my right foot, tap it onto the seat of the chair, and then bring it back down. So I'm lifting and then lowering, alternating legs. Lifting, lowering, lifting, lowering. And you can Play with any way you want to with your arms. Just see what it feels like with them up. Take them out or onto your hips. And then we're going to add on from this. So I'm going to tap and then bring the foot to the seat of the chair, back in and then down. Tap, extend, back in and down. Tap, extend, back in and down. Tap, extend, back in and down. One more on each side. Tap, extend, back in and down. Tap, extend, back in and down. Gorgeous. So from here, we're going to come back to our seats and begin our cool down. I'm going to grab my props close to me here. Oops. I'm going to start with eagle arms here. So I'm sitting up nice and tall in the chair. Extend the arms out and bring the thumbs up. Palms are facing the monitor. Then we'll draw our palms together towards the midline. I'll sweep the right arm up underneath the left and either interlacing the fingertips, or I can draw my hands to my shoulders, lift the elbows up, eagle arms. Take a few rounds of breath here. And then unwind the arms. Let's take them behind the chair and we'll do a nice cat-cow. Look up and then round the spine. Do that a couple times. We are with time here. Beautiful. Round the spine, chin to the chest. Inhale the breath, look up, and then come back to center. Let's do the same thing on the opposite side. Extend the arms out, palms up, thumbs up, palms towards the monitor. And then we'll draw our hands to the midline. This time, switch arms, either wrapping the arms around each other, interlacing the fingertips, or bring your hands to your shoulders, lift the elbows up. So the scapula lifts up. And away from each other, opening the back side of the body here. And then unwind the arms. Bring the hands behind you. We'll do a couple more rounds of cat-cow here. Draw the chin to the chest, round the spine. You can settle your hands on your thighs too if that feels better. Look up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more. Beautiful. From here, we'll walk our feet out a little bit wider and hip width apart. I'm going to bring my feet, my heels towards one another and the toes out. Hands settle into the inner thighs. We're going to come into a nice goddess twist. So sit up nice and tall. Separate the legs as wide as feels comfortable for you. And then I'm going to twist, bringing my right shoulder blade in between the legs. Find that gorgeous length and stretch. Come back to center and then switch sides. And then back to center. Let's do that again. Back to center. We'll do one more. It feels so good. Back to center, opposite side. And then come all the way back to center. From here, I'll walk my feet out. I'll bring my feet parallel to one another. And we're going to come into sun breath here, just to begin our cool down here. Sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, hinge. Down, fingertips to the earth, or if you're using a block, just settle your breath and your head. Inhale, lift halfway, extend the arms out. Exhale, release, lower back down. And then on an inhale, lift yourself all the way up. Bring the arms up. And then bring your hands to your heart. To prayer pose. Let's do a couple more. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hinge forward. Inhale the breath, extend the arms out. Exhale, fold forward again, head releases. Inhale, rise, sweep the arms up. This time I'm going to bring my arms out, open wide. Accept the grace. And then bring my hands back to heart center. Let's do one more. Sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise, arms sweep up. And then open wide. And then bring your hands back to your heart center. And down to mountain. From here, I'm going to extend my legs straight out. I'm going to bring my blocks. We have one last pose. So it's a nice forward fold. So I'm using my blocks here between my legs. And you have an option to keep the legs straight, or you can bend the knees. And I have my block here. I'm going to settle my hands on my hips and then hinge forward, releasing my head to the block. Or if you don't have blocks, that's fine. Again, you can keep your knees bent and the arms down by your side. Or if you want, extend the legs all the way out and then just release your head down onto the block. Placing your hands on your shin to the earth or on your feet. Let's take a few rounds of breath here. Always hinge forward first and then round the spine. Beautiful forward fold. Nice cooling and introspective pose. Nice way to end the practice. And then gently lift yourself all the way up. The legs are straight. You can bend the knees. Let's settle our hands at our heart center. Let your thumbs touch your sternum. Take an inhale. Open your arms wide, away from the body. Exhale the breath as you bring your hands back to your heart. Namaste. Thank you.
Great class, Martha. Thank you.
Thank you.